Hey y'all, this is Sapphira Cristál, and you're listening to Main Pod Girl.
Hey, welcome to Main Pod Girl, a podcast made by Popheads for Popheads. Every episode, we'll be diving into all kinds of pop culture topics with some of our favorite artists and music commentators. I'm your host, AJ Marks, and today's special guest is a classically trained opera singer, composer, and drag queen with a 6-octave vocal range. From late-night appearances on Jimmy Kimmel to performing with Madonna on several stops of her tour to the Emmys' red carpet, this guest holds 14 pageant crowns, including Miss America in 2020 and 2021, and famously became the runner-up on this season of RuPaul's Drag Race. Here to celebrate the release of her debut album, The Crystal Ball, it's Sapphira Cristál, of course. Let's start off with what we're listening to. Sapphira, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. I'm really into the new Lady Gaga song, Disease. Obsessed with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Also been listening to my girl Tori Kelly and my girl JoJo. Their song together, Bottom Line, is so good. What about you?
Loving the Lady Gaga Bruno Mars song. It's just so good. They just sound so good together. It's that little man and that little voice. His voice is so small. I just like
they're both tiny.
Yeah, I just like envy. Yeah. I envy small people sometimes when it comes to their voices because they're just so malleable.
Yeah, and they're so compact with all that talent.
And it's able to like do whatever. Big voices are very. Jennifer Hudson has to do some things to get that on a record. You know what I mean? Like
exactly, yeah. And they both have great stage names: Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars.
Yeah, like just one thing I would do if I was making a song with Bruno Mars: pair up.
Be a real pair
for a second, for at least the time that we're making this song.
yes, for at least a song's duration.
Yeah, and I'm always listening to gospel music. It's like my favorite thing. It keeps me centered. Keeps me. One of my favorite songs is "Blessing on Blessings" by "Blessings on Blessings on Blessings." It keeps me. It's because the words are every time I turn around, blessings on blessings.
Is that Anthony Brown?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I just wanted to kick off this episode with a little test on just how on the pulse you are with niche pop culture moments. Don't worry, it's not pass or fail. So I combined a list of very real and goofy headlines posted to Popheads and mixed them with some very fake and very goofy headlines from Fake Showbiz News and The Onion. And your job is to tell me if you think the headline is real or fake.
Okay.
So get your detective hat on, honey, and let's begin. All right, the first one is James Blunt threatens to release music on Spotify in protest against Joe Rogan.
Real.
That is real. I can't remember when that must have been like 2020 or 2021.
Yeah.
But you are correct.
Yeah, that's real.
The next one is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson unfollows Barack Obama on Instagram, sparking rumors of a fallout between the pair.
Fake.
It's fake, but I would like to believe that it is real. Like, I would love to believe that, like, if someone unfollowed Barack Obama on Instagram or Twitter, that everyone would be tweeting about it.
Let me tell you something. No one is unfollowing Barack Obama.
That's true. The next one is Nick Cannon mix up the handwritten Mother's Day cards to the 6 moms of his 12 kids. Quote, "I tried my best."
Fake.
No, that's real. That is... It was this Mother's Day. That's actually what inspired this game, was just how ridiculous and unbelievable that headline is. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, there's no way, but somehow it happened. The next one is Emma Watson says she's always despised the expression, quote, "whatever floats your boat." Her quote on it is, "Not everybody can afford their own boat."
That's fake.
That is fake. Again, I would love to believe that is real. Unfortunately, it's not. Girls Aloud star Cheryl Cole slams audience members on their comeback tour for flocking to the bathroom during new track exclusive. Quote, "have some fucking respect." Is this real or fake?
That's the real question. It's fake.
It's fake. It is fake, but it's something that I could see being real.
Yeah, I could see someone saying that, but
Yeah.
and for the people who really do say that, I'd say write a better song.
Yeah. You have done better at this game than anyone who's played this so far. I just want you to know that. You are on a roll. We have 3 left, and
I'm not excited now.
When Charlie Puth wants lunch, he tells his driver, quote, "I'm hungies." And then there's a follow-up. Charlie Puth denies being, quote, hungies.
It's real.
This is real. He got very upset when this headline came out. It was someone who was, I guess, with him, writing those, like, spending 3 days with him and then writing an article about him. And apparently he told his driver, "I'm hungies." And then he denied being hungies. And that was a whole nother set of headlines. And then eventually he admitted to it.
That's crazy. Girl.
All right. Kylie Minogue says it pisses her off when people ask what they can expect from her forthcoming world tour. Quote, "I'm just going to be on stage singing my fucking songs."
Fake.
That is fake. That is fake. All right. And last one is a headline that says, "How tall is Peppa Pig and why is she a gay icon?"
Real.
That is real. Oh, wow. So you got all but one correct. That is absolutely perfect. Most people get at least half incorrect. So good. I love that. All right. So now we've warmed up a little bit, let's talk about the Crystal Ball. You are a classically trained opera singer, and yet this music is in a totally different lane. How has your vocal background affected the approach to the music you make now?
I will say it has been quite a journey, and luckily I have an amazing vocal coach, Jeremiah Abia. He also is an opera singer who is also sings popular music. Very, very well, actually. He's like an amazing singer. He sort of just got me into a place where I sing lighter. I'm not singing so hard, or I'm not singing so full, because I do have a rather large voice. Honestly, I'll be honest, it took me a while to find my voice, to find the voice that you hear, especially in like Get Your Flowers.
Love that song.
It's just because I don't know. Because my voice is so big, I just was always trying to just do this thing that it does, but trying to attach that to popular music. And if you think about it, there's not a lot of huge voices out there that are doing popular music.
It used to be all of them, and then now it really, now it's few and far between.
Yeah, it's very, very few and far between. They're not huge. And some of the voices that sound big aren't big. They're just well amplified.
Yeah. Wide,
you know what I mean?
Layered, and all the
but the voice isn't big, and that's why it can be. That's why it can do what it can do. That's why it can run so easily. The bigger the voice is, the more it takes to do those things. That's why you don't really have a lot of dramatic coloraturas. Like, it does exist. You can have a dramatic coloratura soprano. There's not like a lot of dramatic coloratura mezzo sopranos or a lot of dramatic coloratura bass baritones or basses. Like, usually when you have the weight, you don't have the movement. There are a few people who do have both. So what was sort of like taught to me is just like, you can sing, you know how to breathe, you know how to do all these things. All you need to do is lighten it up. And so taking my knowledge of singing and how to produce my sound and sort of putting it in a higher place and doing that made for me to figure out what this voice was and then be able to communicate what I want to do with that voice. And in the music, there's tons of opera influence and classical music influence. I mean, from Get Your Flowers, which has the flower duet straight off the bat, you hear it, but it's in a groovy way, and to Keep It Cute, which has the William Tell overture. And thank God I have my good friend James Blaschko, and director of Soundcake, which is what the show that me and Monet and Thorgy did at Lincoln Center, was with me, especially at the beginning, helping me sort of figure out what I wanted to do musically. And it was like, we really want to make sure that there's operatic influence and classical music influence in a lot of this music. from the layering, from the way that music is written, from the harmonic language that we use, not only in the samples that we use, but also like the way that I'm harmonizing with myself.
Mhm.
There's lots of dense harmonies. There's lots of really cool things in there that if you listen for them, you'll catch them, especially as classical music, if you're into music in that way.
Yeah. I love that. And what's the song that you're most excited for people to hear from this record?
Get Your Flowers
Get
is
Your
my
Flowers.
favorite song.
And why is that? Why Get Your Flowers?
It's just such an earworm. It's such a fun. It's the kind of song that you hear it on the radio and everyone gets up and does the dance. It's that kind of song, and I love songs that bring people together. There's even a line dance at the end of it. And actually, this is "Get Your Flowers" is one of my songs that's actually been on the radio for the better part of the probably July, August.
It is built for radio. It's built for like you said, line dancing, like weddings and stuff like that. Just like a big celebratory moment.
Yeah.
Also, pivoting to the album cover, I was gagged when I first saw this. Did you have this vision in mind while you were making the music, or did it come together at like a later stage?
It came together a little later. I knew that I didn't want to do your classic, like, I am at the crystal ball. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to make it new. I wanted to make it something that was going to catch your eye and something that was just like fun. And I love my legs. And so, like, I thought, let's be young for a second. Mother's going to mother in a different way today.
And then also, I peeped the MV Flag representation in the music video for Enough. How has your experience as a non-binary person affected your approach to drag specifically?
Yeah, I think that's the difference, is that I'm not a character.
Right.
Or my drag is not a character. It's just me in a different outfit.
Love that.
It's me dressed differently.
Love that.
I wear, the non-binary flag, and I represent so that people feel represented, because representation matters. And I want people to see that I'm not a non-binary person in the closet or anything. So I wear it proudly. But yes, it is exactly that. I don't come at it as like, oh, these are my boy clothes, or I'm going to get in boy mode. I don't like being called boy, like, almost ever, honestly. You can call me daddy, but you can't call me boy.
I love that. Favorite quote so far. Speaking of outfits, let's talk a bit about your season on Drag Race, because I know my mom and my sister would kill me if we didn't discuss it. What is your favorite runway look all season?
Oh my God, they were all so great. The flower look was wonderful.
Flowers. Get your flowers.
Get your flowers.
Yeah,
exactly.
Flower was like the back pieces. Was that heavy?
Yes.
It looked very heavy, but it looked good. I think it was worth it.
Yeah. On the show, I didn't get to have that entire full thing, but if you like look at photos, even if you like search "Get Your Flowers" on Instagram, on Spotify, you'll see the true scope of how big it actually is. The two biggest petals weren't even on it, and it looked heavy. So imagine how heavy it really is.
I think I've seen the full thing outside of the show. It's like,
yeah.
It
really encompasses all of the space.
You're gonna have your own like gravity pull with like how big the flower poles are.
Very that. There were people who were around me. I was like, don't be near me. If I turn, I'm taking you out. I'm taking you out.
Oh my gosh. How did it feel starting off in the top 2 for your entrance episode and establishing yourself as a front runner?
It felt correct. Felt right.
Love that. Was there anyone you were that intimidated you as a front runner after meeting the girls?
Nope. Well, after meeting the girls, I was like, oh, cool. This is going to be easy. And in all honesty, it wasn't the hardest. It was pretty easy. I didn't win everything, but who does? I didn't expect to. There were times where I did think I was going to win that I didn't win. And then there were times that I did win that I didn't know I was going to win. So like, it just kind of was one of those things that it's just like, you ride the wave, you expect great things from the experience, you expect to do great things, and whatever happens. But there were times where I was like, I haven't won. And I was thinking, what is for you is for you. You will win again. Don't worry. Don't you worry. It'll happen.
Yeah.
And then it happened 3 times in a row.
if you can talk about this, I'm not sure, but the story of the little tyke boobs, like, was that the same breastplate as you used later on in the season?
No, I brought mini breastplates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I brought mini, but that one was the one that people could fit, the things could fit in.
Okay, I knew there were a lot of theories on TikTok, so I wasn't sure what the story was, but I know my sister
Yeah,
was very
everyone was
invested
like,
on
it
it.
was like, oh my God, they let her buy breastplates. I was like, no, I brought like 4 or 5 breastplates.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Rewatching your season, were you proud of how you were portrayed on the season, coming across as helpful, poised, graceful, you know, a mama bear to all the other girls, and non-dramatic? You know, these were all the reasons you were my mom's like favorite for this season. She was rooting for you so hard.
I mean, who wouldn't be proud of that? You know what I mean? I could have gone on it very inauthentically and tried to produce myself and made these things happen. But I said, you're a good person. Go be you. I talked to some friends before going, and they said, just be you.
Mm-hmm.
You're a good person. People will like you. Just be you. And I did that. And I felt very good about doing that.
Like you said, you're not playing a character, so.
Exactly. Like me in drag, me out of drag, it's just me.
Yeah. And that also must feel better too, like being like, oh, I played me and I got top 2 and I got Miss Congeniality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so now we've come to the last part of the show. This is our top 5, where we list our top 5 of a certain category. And this episode's theme is top 5 Beyonce albums. So
Okay.
I know, tough, right? But I've been dying to do this. I know you're a big Beyonce fan, so I can go first and follow in this order if you want. I know that I'm gonna catch a little bit of heat for what I include or what I do not include on this list. These are just my personal favorites, like the things I come back to the most. So
Okay.
not objective. But my number 5 is self-titled, is Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce is my number 5 for top 5 Beyonce. I thought this was like a complete game changer, and
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like the total pivot in her career and the thing that gave her another, you know, 4 or 5 decades of like relevancy and all that, like cultural awareness and stuff. I think this was the really capturing everyone's moment, because she was Beyonce before, but she is Beyonce now in all caps. Yeah, and the music is good too, but not top 4. My number 4, I did promise I did not do this on purpose, is 4. But I really find myself coming back to this record a lot more. I really love the kind of retro sounds that she plays around with on this album. Yeah. And yeah, just there are certain songs that like weren't singles that like haven't, you know, gotten played to death on the radio that like I find myself coming back to more just because there are a lot of them on this album. Yeah. And then Countdown alone puts this at number 1.
Countdown is so
good. And then number 3, this is my hottest take. It's Everything Is Love, the Jay-Z collab album. I had to throw this one in just because, again, I don't know. It's something about this album. It's just so good. And I love how short it is and concise it is. I think having a concise track list and having everything you want to say in such a short amount of time, I think that's just so powerful, and people really take that for granted, I think. And number 2 is the opposite of that. It is the longest album. It's Cowboy Carter, which is maybe like a little long, but I would say like I've definitely made a couple different playlists of like different vibes from this album where I only take like 10 songs from it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always a different 10 songs, but it just depends on what the vibe is. And the collabs on this album are so incredible. The Miley Cyrus song, the Post Malone song, Blackbird, just wonderful. So Cowboy Carter was really what I wanted from Beyonce. Number 1 is Lemonade, just because this, with the film and everything, I couldn't put this anywhere other than 1. This to me is always going to be my favorite Beyonce album.
It's so sad.
But who knows, because she always, it is so sad. It is so sad, but it's so powerful, and that's in that same, you know, sort of sense.
I guess I'll have to start. Number 5, I would say Lemonade. I do love it. Mm-hmm. So it's on the list.
Love
but
it.
it is very sad. But it has one of my favorite Beyonce songs, Freedom, on it. And that, for, it really, but it's only one song on there that I'm like, yes. I love the whole album, but like that song really gives me such internal power every time I hear it. That's why they used it for Kamala's run. Didn't work, but and then number 4 is going to be B-Day.
Yes. Okay, good. I'm glad we're getting some B-Day representation on the list.
B-Day has some great songs on it, some hits, Ring the Alarm, Deja Vu, Irreplaceable, To the Left, To the Left. I mean, you can't forget about To the Left. Green Light, if you want to. I don't know if you have we're gonna stop there. She'll bill you. But yeah, Sugar Mama, Upgrade, like almost every song on here. And then we really can't forget Get Me Bodied.
Get Me Bodied. Oh,
Get Me Bodied. And the Get Me Bodied extension with the dance and everything. Like, B-Day is an album full of hits. Like almost all of those songs has been on the radio from B-Day. And so that's number 4?
Yeah.
Number 3. Now this is going to be controversial because no one likes this album, but it came out around the time that I started drag, and thus I Am Sasha Fierce.
Yep. I could see that coming.
Yeah. I Am Sasha Fierce.
Diva.
It's Diva. Diva is the reason I started drag.
Yeah.
That song is the reason I saw my drag mother come out to Diva. And that was it for me. I said, oh, I'm doing drag.
Delicious, right?
Delicious. When Delicious came out, when she's going by Miss Delicious now because she's she's a little older now. Miss Delicious, when she came out, I said, oh, yeah, I'm doing drag. Yeah. This is for me. Ego. I got a big ego. What is she talking about? Such a huge ego. It's too much. I don't want to hear about that, Beyonce. So that's number 3 for me. This is an honorable mention. Is The Lion King, The Gifts. It has some really great songs on there. I love Power. But it's not even on there. Yeah, My Power and Black Parade.
Love Black Parade. Black Parade and Formation are like my 2 favorite Beyonce songs.
Yeah, Black Parade. I listen to that song and feel so much pride. It's every single time it's on, and then I put it on repeat and just listen to it for hours.
Yeah,
while driving, and just like just reminded of why it's amazing to be Black. You know what I mean? So that was honorable mention. Number 2 is The Self-Taught of Beyonce.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. It's got so many hits. Partition, Rocket. I love Rocket. Rocket is my soul. It makes me so happy. But I love Beyonce, the self-titled album. And the first is Renaissance. Renaissance is it. She's that girl.
Yeah.
Still to this day, I can listen to that album and it sounds new and it sounds fresh and it makes me happy.
And it marked a huge moment for her career too, I think.
It really did. And it has some of my friends on it.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's always want to surround yourself by people who impress you in a way where you're like,
exactly. Surround yourself by people who are doing way more than you.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, this was so great. Thank you so much for being on the show. This was amazing.
Thank you. This has been so much fun. You are a delight.
Oh my God,
and
you as well.
I'll be here anytime you ask.
Oh my God, please. Thank you so much. This was like truly a dream. I love this.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, AJ.
Thank you so much, Sapphira, for joining me, and thank you to Noah for the theme music. Make sure to rate and review us on whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on right now. See you in the next one.